while 45Q was introduced as admitted into law, October, November last year, the Treasury Department, the IRS, hasn't actually said how it's going to be applied. So while there's a lot of interest and excitement around it, there's virtually no investment, only a lot of great ideas and a lot of great conversations. There's been some acquisitions by different companies on the anticipation of it. So there's been some capital movement, but until we get better clarity from the IRS of how we ultimately can apply 45Q and the tax credits and what is sequestration, what is commercial use, definitions around those, that nobody can invest. And so we're slowing down the innovation and the progress in all of this. And just like you're saying, kind of with coal burying their head in the sand, kind of the same thing. I mean, everybody's head's in the sand right now because we don't know ultimately where this is going to take us. Jeff, have you had any more insights than that? I know there have been obviously conversations on Capitol Hill and amongst that, but I don't see it moving forward very quickly.
Well, that's always been the challenge is the government clarifications. And you mentioned it earlier that you can't build an industry around subsidies. If you can actually capture the carbon, then you can do something. Let's say, for example, the cement industry, the governments were to approve carbon credits that would actually allow sequestration of CO2 into cement. I mean, that benefits cement in the fact that you use less cement, and it actually makes the cement better quality in the fact that it has more flexibility and is harder and a few other things. So, but to be able to define that an actual carbon credit is defined is created when you inject that CO2 in, that's the status of government regulations that aren't being established at this point. And government's not taking a firm stand on this stuff and saying, here's all the rules. Because business, as long as they know the rules, they will actually do things. But when they don't know the rules, they won't do anything. And that's what we've experienced for the last 20 years in the business, is that there's been a lot of engineering studies and discussions and, we want to do this. But at the end of the day, until the rules are established and everybody is on the same playing field, nobody's going to do anything. And that's, like I said, in Canada is changing now because there is actually some plants being built. But 10, 15 years before that, a lot of discussions, a lot of studies, but not a lot happening. So that's good. That's the biggest challenge, Jim.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think part of that is when you capture CO2, whether that's from a power production facility or any other process, yet you need an efficient way to get that molecule somewhere. And those are the pipelines. And so once the pipelines are permitted, and that process is occurring right now, I think you're going to see what's on paper right now move into action, because then you've got certainty that the pipelines are going to be there and can handle those large volumes, and that there is a path forward, that if there's not the entire market willing to take in a large sum of CO2, that it can be pointed towards sequestration. And so once I feel that the bottleneck there is the fact that we need that permitting process to go quicker so that we can start attacking this problem right now.